before we keep things moving, because he's been very patient with his time, and I've kind of been a little mean to him as far as the scheduling goes today. I've for lack of a better term, jerked him around a bit today with the timing, but it'd be like that sometimes. But it would be no better way to start our descent of this stream than with the one, the only Robert Brown. Robbie Bobby, how we doing?
You jerk me around with a schedule, and then you make me follow up Femi. You're going to put that Roman god on this screen and then be like, hey, Rob, follow that, you son of a bitch. And that's what you're expecting from me? What in the hell, buddy? I thought we were friends.
It's called comedic relief. It's called comedic relief.
Pal, that's like getting your debut in the show and then like BT Dubs go follow Paul Skeens. Oh, wait, no, bad joke. Never mind. I take that one back. That's on me. That's my bad.
Yeah, I mean, following Paul Skeens would have been an easy job today because he got shellacked by the Mets. Buddy, I don't know how much of the games you've been able to watch today. We had the White Sox. That's gone really, really well. Sarcasm. But we also had Carson Bench and a Rookie of the Year ticket, which is going to age well because now he just had his second hit of the day. But just tell me, buddy, I'm gonna be out of frame for 1 second while you tell us just what you're hot on today, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll talk about. Well, I won't talk, but you're gonna have some opinions.
I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if it says more about Jake or it says more about me that he pops me on the screen and then says I'm leaving. Like, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment, as in Rob Brown, I believe you, carry me for a minute, or if that's more along the line, Rob Brown, you're unbearable and I want nothing more to do with you. I can't figure out which one it was.
It's never unbearable. I just wanted for you to know. I would be remiss if we didn't, of course, address the elephant in my room. I wanted you to be here when I welcomed one more good friend into the room for the stream. And that, of course, would be my good friend Jepson, who I wanted you to say hello to for this.
Listen.
Chicago delicacy, by the way.
Jake Hasan and I have been working together / crossing paths for the better part of like 4.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I used to host a show alongside former Major League Baseball player Cody Decker on Saturdays on a network that shan't be named. And
now
in the conversations that we had, we played this game called Parlay v. Parlay, where we would have myself and Jake or Cody and Jake, whoever was hosting the show, versus our production team. And each team put forward a 3-leg parlay. And if one team hit, the other didn't, you had to take some sort of heinous or embarrassing punishment. We had body parts waxed live on television. It was as unsexy as it sounds. We had to eat disgusting things. I had to just absolutely plow through 75 McDonald's chicken nuggets in a 3-hour span. It was bad. One of the bets that was lost was to drink flavored Jepson's Malört. Now, before I get to the next point of this conversation, Jake Hasan, I'd like to take just a moment and say to the great people of Chicago, Illinois, nothing but respect for your city. Your music scene is absolutely incredible. Your pizza's overrated, but I get the regional pride.
Because you're not getting the right pizza. Don't talk about deep dish in this conversation. You have to get the thin crust tavern style. Everybody knows this.
We're going to circle back around, all right? Because your boy got a big boy job. And there's a very good chance that there's a Chicago vacation coming up for me sooner rather than later. And we're going to put your theory to the test. But here's what I am going to say. Mardi Gras last year, I went down to a lovely little place called New Orleans, Louisiana. And as I was sitting in a locals dive bar at about 1 o'clock in the morning with my little brother and talking to the, I assume, 80-plus-year-old lady who'd been working this bar since the mid-1800s. And with her very gravelly, smoky voice, she said, "What can I get you?" I looked up behind her, and I saw the bottle that Jake Hasan just held up in the air. And out of, and I mean this, nothing more than love, respect, and homage to my dear friend Jake Hasan, I said, let me find out what the take is all about. So I said, I'd like a shot of the Malört. And this lady, now again, she doesn't look like she lived through both world wars. She looks like she barely survived both world wars. And this tough old woman looks me in the face and she says, and I quote, "Are you sure Now, I should have known at that exact moment in time that something had gone desperately wrong with my life, but I said yes. She poured me a shot. I grabbed my camera and I filmed myself taking the shot. I'm not a film myself doing everything guy. I knocked back a shot of this stuff on camera. And I have to tell you, I'm proud of three things in my life. Number one, I found a great woman to marry. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Number two, I am a three-time South Carolina State radio talk show host of the year. And number three, I didn't puke every fiber of my guts up when I took that shot of Jepson's Malört. That's the top three things. Good people of the Windy City. I know you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it one more time again, Jake Hasan. Regional pride is wonderful. I'm from New Orleans. I rep the NOLA, the 504 every day of my life. That's fine. But what I really, really, really need y'all to do is stop pretending that that shit's good, buddy. I need y'all to stop pretending that it's not. There are zero, not a none, nine, zero redeeming qualities about Jepson's Malört, and y'all offer it to the world as if we should be grateful. Mm-hmm. You offer it to us as if we should thank you. No. There is one thing that's good for. That's turning the bottle upside down in the gas tank of my car and probably getting better miles per gallon out of that trash. Chicago, you're a lovely city. Your music's good. Your food's good. Your sports exist. But y'all got to stop with the Jepsons, please. I'm begging you. It's trash. It's awful. It shouldn't exist. And there he goes. That absolute lunatic. And yet I said yes to Jake Hasan again.
Hey, listen, Chicago delicacy. You will never hear me say a bad word about Jepson's Malört. Sponsor the show, cowards. Listen, you just need a couple more goes. That's all. I'm convinced you just need a couple more go rounds with Jepson, and you'll be good as new. Buddy, and you'll see the light.
If I got kicked in the balls and you said you just need to be kicked in the balls 2-3 more times and you'll learn to love it. No, it's never going to be a turnaround for that. It just is what it is, pal.
And I respect that you're wrong, and that's okay. But I just wanted to save that part of the show for you. I waited this time for you so that you could appreciate what just happened. But we can get into opening day, buddy. We made it as two big baseball boys here. We made it. We have a couple of games. We mentioned the Mets and the Pirates. Mets dusting off the Pirates at the end of this game here. The Brewers absolutely kicking the teeth into the White Sox. Nationals shockingly doing the same thing to the Cubs. They're up 8-3. But we got a bunch of games starting. I mean, my man, I'll just turn the floor over to you. What are you hot on? What are you looking at? And we'll talk about your Braves in a little bit.
Oh, I'm real glad you said that because I did come here for a therapy session about the Atlanta Braves. Because
I would have to charge you for that.
What an absolute effing roller coaster ride it has been for Atlanta Braves fans this offseason. So I'm sure we'll get to that. I'll start with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Why? Why? At some point, entire city of Pittsburgh, I'm going to need you to grab pitchforks and torches and march your ass down to the stadium and burn it to the ground unless everyone in charge of that organization decides to move it. The Pittsburgh Pirates, for years and years, Jake Hasan, Artie Moreno and the LA Angels, a team that, just to give you a little flashback into history for those of you that are amongst the youths of America, there was a point in time, and this is a true story, I've Googled it. There was a point in time when that team had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani both on it and did nothing with them, all right? The LA Angels used to be my go-to illustration of when an owner doesn't give a shit about fans or winning. They just cares about the dollar bills, y'all. Mm-hmm. But the fact that the Pirates said, all right, we got this Paul Skeens kid, this kid who is absolutely aces. And maybe, like I always try to give benefit of the doubt, Jake Hasan. And I think it was Smoltzy on a broadcast sometime during the offseason said,
speaking of people who hate the youth,
with a guy like Paul Skeens, there's one of two realistic outcomes. Either A, the guy's going to win 10 World Series, 10 Cy Youngs, 10 MVPs. We're going to be talking about him, and he's going to become a sports photographer one day. Or option number two is he's going to have 19 Tommy John surgeries, and he better learn to throw a curveball because the velo will go away at some point. Here's where I'm at with Skeens after seeing today. You took a team that's got a lights out ace and your biggest acquisition, and I know you're going to throw some other names at me, and that's fine. I'm really just being a smartass to make a point. Deal with it. You went and got Marcell Ozuna out of Atlanta, and you decided that's your move. Your move was the big. Don't get me wrong. The Big Bear is going to go get you probably 40 home runs this year. I mean, I think it's probably going to be a good offensive year for the cat, and he got paid for it. But you got Paul Skeens, and you decided to back him up with Marcell Ozuna, and that was the good enough move for you. There are teams, Jake Hasan, that I hate because of their fans. I'm looking at you, Dallas Cowboys. All right. There are teams that I hate because of their success over time. I'm looking at you, New England Patriots. And then there are teams that I hate because their fans deserve better and they're in a position to give better and they refuse to do it. And that's where we are with Pittsburgh. Like when that kid came out of LSU, where I got to tell you, Paul Skeens may have been the most entertaining. I'm a college baseball guy with Jake Hasan. Paul Skeens has been the most entertaining college baseball player in recent memory, pitching in Baton Rouge. When that kid stepped on your roster, it should have been an entire full commit into overhauling that roster to become everything that everybody wanted it to be. And instead, you went Marcell Ozuna as your big swing acquisition. I don't know. I heard Katie Nolan say on her pod a couple of days ago, Hasan, that baseball, and I'm going to say every sport should have a rule, that we should set a 10-year minimum winning percentage. And if you own a baseball team for 10 years and you don't win X percent of your games, and we can set it low, we can say like 37%. If you don't win 37% of your games over a 10-year span, you are legally obligated to either sell the team or be sent to Sri Lanka, and there's no other options, right? Like, because I genuinely don't get it. And I know, Jake, that we're knee-jerk reaction to one bad game. If O'Neal Cruz doesn't botch that ball in center, Skeens probably gets into the second. He probably turns it around and goes lights out. But, like, you have to play defense too. It's like half of the game of baseball, my guy. How are we on opening day making mistakes that if my little 8-year-old nephew made him on a minor league field, I'd bench his ass and tell his uncle he failed as a father.
I'm with you of the Pirates ownership and that they need to be shook like children. Absolutely part of this. I kind of like the winning percentage thing. I mean, yeah, it's just, and I think the Pirates are trying to rest on their laurels of, oh, well, we have Connor Griffin, who we sent his ass to the minors, even though he probably should have been on the opening day roster. Oh, well, look at us bringing in the ghost of Brandon Lau, although he hit 2 home runs today. Hand up, I bet the Pirates to win the NL Central at 12-1, just because I thought that division was very mediocre at best overall. Hence, the Cubs getting pounded by the Nationals, and congrats to the Brewers on beating the brakes off the White Sox. But I think that this Pirates team is just kind of expecting themselves to be able to have Skeens and Griffin and fall ass backwards into 2 generational players, and that to save them. That's kind of where I feel like they're at.
Yes. It's like, I want to go deeper than that, right? Like I want to be able to dive in. I am a fan of trying to pick apart, and it's really funny coming from me because I'm an idiot, but it's fun to pick apart like the administrative psychology of teams and be like, okay, can we figure out why it is they're doing what they're doing or not doing what they're not doing and should be doing or whatever. And when it comes down to Pittsburgh, I'm looking at a team that's worth $1.62 billion. I'm looking at a team that, since they drafted Paul Skeens, have seen a valuation of their squad go up 20% and is probably going to keep rising. I've got a friend of mine who lives here in Greenville, South Carolina. No affiliation to LSU, no affiliation to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Whose World Baseball Classic jersey did he dump the dollar bills on before it started? Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
He gave them money. He gave the Pirates money. So it's kind of one of those things, and I make this argument Jake Hasan, every year when I was doing radio, when NFL season kicked off, I would have some guy who would call my show and go, Rob, I'm real sad because I can't afford to bring my family of 4 to an NFL game anymore. And I said the same thing every year, which is, buddy, they don't care whose asses are in seats. They care that asses are in seats. Doesn't matter who the asses belong to. If that stadium sounds like 17 on the Masters on Sunday, just bird chirping quiet in the background, but they're making $1.62 billion a year, they don't give a damn, dude. They just don't. So this is kind of the point, is like, you've got this baseball team that started putting together this group, and they centered it around Paul Skeens, and they did all the right marketing to be like, okay, it's our turn now, right? Like, the NL Central belongs to us. We got the most electrifying pitcher in sports entertainment today. And the Pirates fans all bought it. They sold out the season tickets, and they're buying the single gamers, and they bought the merch, and they bought the Skeens jerseys, and they bought all of it. And then they did nothing else to actually make the motor go. Why? Because in 2 years, their team is worth 20% more than it was before they got Paul Skeens. So nothing else matters. Like, when you get an owner, Jerry Jones, that shows you that their objective is anything but winning, don't make excuses for them. Like, just don't, because that nothing else matters.
As Metallica famously said. By the way, Kevin McGonigal, the favorite for Rookie of the Year, bases clearing double. Speaking of calling up your generational prospects and letting them hit on opening day. And shout out our guy, Brian Giles, who bet a Kyle Schwarber home run. All he did was do that first at-bat of the game. Schwarbombs are back. Schwarbombs are back in our lives against the Texas Rangers and Nathan Eovaldi. You're uniquely equipped to answer this question as an NL East fan. Are the Phillies just going to motor their way to 90 wins again? Is this just what this is going to be?
I feel like for the last 2 years. Yeah, Jake, you ever done this thing where, like, you make a prediction, you feel good about it, it doesn't happen, and so the next time around you're like, I'm due. Then you make the prediction, it doesn't happen, and then the next time around you're like, I'm due. And then you just do that for like way too damn long. I have been doing the Phillies have to be done now, they're too old song and dance for like 2 years running now. Like 2 years now. I've been like, nope, this team's too old. This team's aging out. I don't know how much I trust them. But this is the year, man. Like, it's got to be the year. And I'm not saying that I don't attack this as a Braves fan, because the minute that I found out that Spencer Strider is now the 4th opening day 5 pitcher for the Braves that is starting on the IL, I just decided I'll be aroused sexually if the Braves make a wild card run. That's all I can hope for at this point, right? So I look at the Phillies, and like, it kind of feels, I do think the Marlins, I saw you make a tweet the other day.
Yeah, you got really mad at me.
Money on the Marlins to win the NL East. And ladies and gentlemen, I need you to know, it was everything in my path. My wife had to physically stop me from getting in the car to drive to Jake Hasan's house 12 hours away and slapping him in the teeth because of that tweet. All right. I tried to talk about it. It almost kind of feels like the Phillies are going to win this division by default a little bit, right? Like, I might be right, for the record. I might be right about the aging thing. I might be right about, I'm glad to see the Schwarber. I'm not. I'm a Braves fan. F the Phillies. But like, from a baseball fan perspective, I'm glad to see the Schwarbombs are back. I really hope that Bryce Harper and the boys like have a better showing than we saw in the WBC. I hope that was just kind of the anomaly and not what we expect all year. Here's the thing, and I mean this. I was looking about this earlier. Doesn't it feel like the winner of the NL East might win with like 81 wins this year to me? Like, it really does. It feels like the winner of that division might be an 81 win team. And if that's the case, maybe Atlanta's in play. My brain is sitting here like, Rob, you haven't said a word about the Mets yet, but Metsing LOL is an internet meme for a reason. That's not a joke we make because there's no foundation. Like, the Mets go Mets is a text that I've said 10 to 12,000 times in my life. I mean, maybe the Mets get it done. Maybe they made the right moves, but at the end of the day, it seems like every time they've got an inside track to win the division, they find a way to fart and then smell it on their own face. I don't get it. I really think this might be a division that is won by an 81 to 85 win team. And if that is the case, that is the type of division Philly can grind out. If Philly doesn't win it, it's only because Atlanta got healthy in the second half. Let's say this, man, for all the pitching woes, The Braves won 16 out of 25 in spring ball. The offense was clicking. Like, maybe if they can keep that going until everybody gets healthy and they have an actual pitching staff. I got a call yesterday from Alex Anthopoulos asking if I was good for 5 games to open the season. Like, that's how crappy it is right now. If they can survive that and that offense can get hot second half, maybe the Braves can make a run to 85, 86 and steal it. But if they don't do that, it feels like it would be a missed opportunity for Philadelphia not to win this division this year.
Rob, I'm just gonna. That's the whole point of betting the Marlins at a huge price. They could win 81 games and win the division. All I'm asking for is 81 and 81. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Jake, I will bet you a bottle of a liquor equivalent in cost that is not Jepson's Malört. The Marlins don't win 76 games this year.
76?
I'll set it at 75.5 over under for a bottle of South Carolina liquor versus bottle of Jepson's Malört bet that the Marlins don't go over 75.5 wins.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that gentleman's wager on that.
Nick, I see you watching right now. Put it on the books. This one's official.
If I feel as strongly about the Marlins as I've been saying I do, then I will take this bet. I will take that wager. My whole thing with them is I like the lineup, and I think the rotation has upside, especially once they call up Robbie Snelling. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about, and you listened, you were in the background when Femi Abebefe was on and we were talking awards. What do you think about his thought on Ohtani, Cy Young?
I really want the Cy Young / MVP combo this year. I do. And Let me start with this, because I heard you talking about, and I know that this isn't necessarily, well, I mean, I guess it is baseball talk, but it's really every sport talk. I need y'all to put the concept of voter fatigue to bed. I'm not saying it's not real. It's real. I'm just saying those of you that are impacted by voter fatigue, if any of you voters happen to be listening right now, you're not, because if I'm on the screen, nobody's watching. Put the concept of voter fatigue to bed. Here's the deal. They're the most valuable player or they're not. And you vote according to who is or isn't. I don't care if somebody has won it once, thrice, or 4 times in a row. If they're the MVP, they're the MVP. That was the whole thing about, like, I heard you guys talking about Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge. It confounds me that anybody would have voted for Aaron Judge over Cal Raleigh. And now, for the record, Aaron Judge had a phenomenal season last year. Nobody is disputing that. Jake Hasan, if I took Cal Raleigh off of the Seattle Mariners, what's their standing at the end of the year last year?
Oh, I mean, they probably don't make the playoffs.
Okay. If I take Aaron Judge off the Yankees last year, what's their standings when they get to the playoffs last year?
Oh, I don't know if they make the playoffs either, to be fair.
Wild card. They're a wild card team without Aaron Judge. All right. I think they're a wild card team. The thought here would be, when I ask, even let's just use the answer you gave. I said, without Cal Raleigh, what are the Mariners? And you went, ugh, nothing. They're shit. They're nothing. I said Aaron Judge, and you at least had to rub that glorious beard of yours. You know what that tells me about the concept of valuable? Because here's the lesson, boys and girls. Pay attention to Uncle Rob for a minute. The word valuable and the word best, they're different words with different meanings. They don't mean the same thing. If it was meant to go to the best baseball player, then we would call it the most best valuable player, the most best player award. It'd be the MVP. We'd have a whole different thing to do. But that's not what we call it. We call it most valuable. Here's my example, because I'm an asshole and I love to really just absolutely keep ramming the point home. Jake Hasan, if you were crawling through the desert for 30 days and 30 nights, and you come up to a sign that says, this way water, that way bars of gold, which direction do you go to? You're going to the water. It's more valuable, because if you don't get it, you're going to die. All the gold in the world doesn't mean nothing if you're thirsty in the middle of the desert, and without water, you die. One of those things, in that moment, and it can be different scenario to scenario, time to time. Right now, today, yeah, a bar of gold would do me a lot good than a Dasani. But if I'm dying in the desert, a bottle of water is more valuable, that word seems important, than gold in that spot. Cal Raleigh was the bottle of water to the Mariners in the midst of the desert. Aaron Judge was a gold bar surrounded by a lot of other talent that could carry that team. So I don't get how I got to take people back to elementary school to basic vocabulary. It's most valuable, not most bestest. Learn it.
I'm gonna choose to move on from the fact that your first bottle of water choice was Dasani, but we don't have to belabor that point as far as the rest of this.
Wait. Quick timeout. How violently sincere are you about the bottled water rankings?
I'm not violently sincere, but I do believe that Dasani is a bottom tier bottle of water. It's just there's something just different. I don't know.
It's fine. Like I just maybe I'm not as 1%er nose in the air, pinky out when I drink as Jake Hasan is, but like I've never been thirsty and been
did you see what I just did 20 minutes ago?
That's fair. That's a good point. It's a good point. I take it back. That's a good point. You drink garbage water. I get it.
Look for the uninitiated. Look at the color of this, right? look
yeah, it looks like the piss that. Okay, that's probably too far. It's bad, Jake. It's bad.
How disgusted are you by how empty this bottle is?
I'm disgusted that the bottle exists. Like I can't.
Oh, there's another one. There's a full one too. There's a backup bottle.
I don't know what to say to you right now. Be better, do better, be better. Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll take it under consideration, but I make no promises. All right, my friend, before we wrap this up, anything awards, game today, anything for the night games, anything division, futures, whatever you like. Could be college baseball, could be Sweet 16. Just I open the floor. What anything that you feel particularly strongly about for today or the future?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, like I know we talked about Ohtani a minute ago. My brother was dealing off the bump the other day. I went, I think like third inning of that final spring training game. I think third inning, I popped an MVP and a Cy Young bet, and I gotta tell you, it was everything in my power not to parlay those together. In fairness, the only reason I didn't pull the trigger is because it took like a 3-1 and a 5-1 to like 9-1 to win it. It's like, nah, I'd rather just hit on one of them and feel good. But I think there's a very good chance. I've got a couple that I've leaned on after what I saw. I don't know how big of a problem knee-jerk reaction bets are to you, but they're a massive issue for me. I kind of want a Bobby Witt Jr. MVP bet after what I saw over the spring, man. Like I'm kind of leaning into a Bobby Witt Jr. MVP bet. I think he's a big one or a really good one. I want to play something. I want to play something in the Cy Young market. And I keep going back to a guy that won me an assload of money last year, and that's Garrett Crochet. But I'm having this real time doing it when Tarek Skubal still exists. I'm as mad at him as anybody for the whole Team USA WBC thing. Like I could go on that forever. But it feels to me like if you're going to take a Cy Young bet in the AL that's not Skubal, I would want to get it today, right? I feel like I want to get it today when the assumption is Skubal. I've seen a lot of other people leaning Crochet. So I'll ask you, Hasan, do I play a Garrett Crochet AL Cy Young bet today, or do I let it ride a little bit, see if we get the early dominant Skubal, and then play a slower second half?
And when the thing is, like, you're getting both of them right now. Obviously, it's opening day. They're both the number ones for their respective teams. I'm of the mindset, I don't know. I kind of think Skubal's getting traded. I kind of think that the signing of Framber Valdez, like just the way that the Tigers have moved about this just doesn't sit right with me. I kind of feel like they're still trying to figure out a way to trade him, whether that be midseason or later. I don't know. But I wouldn't say today, but I do think that's something that definitely have circled, because I mean, Crochet's your second favorite. He's the next guy up. I mean, I think it was a lot closer than people think that he won it, that he came in second last year behind Skubal. So I don't begrudge you. I would look at the schedule too. I mean, try to find a spot where maybe Skubal theoretically stumbles, or Crochet theoretically stumbles, or both, and then you try to attack it that way. But I will say on Bobby Witt Jr., Rob Brown, can I interest you in Bobby Witt Jr. to be the first to 10 home runs at 55-1?
You'd have to talk me into it. Like I need a real good argument.
Longer price for a reason.
Yeah.
But gets the Twins, gets the Guardians. Like at home too, by the way, with the new fences moved in too. So, I mean, gets a couple of teams that aren't very good. That's my only thought with Bobby Witt Jr.
You could talk me into it, but you will first have to tell me how bad of a decision betting the Marlins to win the NL East was. Then I'll listen to
I don't think it was a bad decision. I think given the number and how shit the rest of that division's going to be, I don't think it was a bad bet.
I mean, listen, I just want to make the bet clear. You're buying me a bottle of South Carolina whiskey.
We'll see.
If Malört shows up to my house, I'm coming to firebomb your house, buddy.
We'll see. We will see.
Wait. Can I add one more thing here, Jake Hasan, before you let me off? I saw last night one of the things that I told you about Parlay by you. I don't mean you, Jake. I mean the millions and millions of Jake Hasan fans tuned in right now. I told you about the Parlay v Parlay. One of the ones we did, you had to go to the localist ballpark you could find to do a 999 challenge. You MLB teams that are putting out your stadium-specific 999 challenge, I want you to know, I got really excited. I did. I was like, oh, okay. You tell me I can head over to San Francisco. Not bad. And then it turns out you're putting mini hot dogs and you're pouring one tall boy into 9 shot glasses. You can go F yourself with your tiny shot glasses. All right. There's a term very popular on the internet right now. The term is enshittification. I don't know if you've ever heard it before. Basically, what enshittification is any time that corporate entities that care more about money than they do about anything else get their hands on something fun that we love and completely ruin it in the name of a profit. You are charging $65 for people to come get 9 1/3 of a hot dog, so 3 hot dogs, and you're charging these people $65 to come get 9 beers, but it's one tall boy poured into 9 shot glasses.
Yep.
I need all of you who came up with this idea, you big smart marketing boys, to know I and the rest of us Americans who like hot dogs, beer, and fun, we hate you. We not like, haha, the way you tell your boy I hate you when the boy's like, dude, I got a number, and you're like, bro, I hate you. No. I mean hate. I mean bottom of my cold, dead, black, icy heart. I despise you as a human being. Stop ruining things. If you want to do a 9, I understand you don't want to let fans go rip off 9 Busch Lights in left field. I get it. But the people who have the stones to do a 999, they're going to do it anyway. They're just going to do that. So if you're going to embrace the thing that makes things fun, then let people do the things that are fun. And I need the rest of you to know, my fellow Americans, my countrymen, my compatriots, if you go to one of these ballparks and you spend $65 on what is the equivalent of 3 hot dogs and 1 tall boy beer, that's a bitch-ass move, and I better not see a single moment of bragging on social media because you didn't do the 999. You did the 319, and that's not anything to brag about. All right? Jake, I expect my fellow Americans and baseball fans everywhere who care about the history, the legacy, the traditions of this great country to stand up against those selling you the 319 challenge and say, F you. If you're doing it, we're doing it. Be better, America.
I actually don't disagree with anything that Rob Brown said. Go balls to the wall if you're going to do the 999 challenge. I actually respect that, and I think that is the correct opinion. Rob Brown, at the Rob Brown Show on Twitter. I appreciate you, my man. You're the best. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
Pleasure's always mine to talk to you, you brown-eyed, beautiful bastard. Do you think we could talk Nick into letting us live stream doing a 999 challenge one day? I bet we could. Man. I think we could. I say we get Cody Decker's ass in here and we just do a live stream of it.
I'm in. You know where to find. You have my information. You have my information if we ever decide to pull trigger on that.
No. I just decided. We're doing it. We just got to figure out the date.
I will be there. You tell me the time and the place, and I will be there, especially after the Marlins win the NL East, and I collect my winnings on that. My man, appreciate you. Be good.
Pleasure's mine, brother. Love you. See you soon.
Love you too. We will see you on the other side. Rob Brown, everybody.